What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Alexander Isak to Liverpool transfer news update video, and we will tell you guys about all the latest in this Alexander Isak to Liverpool transfer saga, because Liverpool are getting one step closer to signing Alexander Isak, because Newcastle United are in talks with Nicholas Jackson, who could be Alexander Isak's replacement, and Nicholas Jackson is like the 9th transfer target for a striker signing for Newcastle. So I actually feel sorry for the Newcastle United fans, because they felt on cloud 9, over the moon after the season finished. They won their first trophy in like 80 years, first domestic trophy, and they finished in the Champions League places, and they were excited about the summer. And then, apart from Elanga, every other player that Newcastle tried to sign has rejected them and went to another club. Benjamin Šeško is in Manchester having his medical for Manchester United, but Craig Hope posted this exclusive news, and he is the Newcastle-based journalist who has his hand on the pulse of this transfer saga. He posted that Alexander Isak will not play for Newcastle in the Saga Cup games this weekend. Probably those are some preseason games. So Alexander Isak doesn't even want to train with Newcastle anymore. He doesn't want to play for Newcastle anymore. Alexander Isak, according to Ben Jacobs, considers his Newcastle career over. So he doesn't want anything to do with Newcastle United, and Craig Hope is posting about, of course, a lot of Newcastle transfer targets that they are in talks with Johan Wissa and Nicholas Jackson, and Brentford are making a move to sign Dango Ouattara, the Bournemouth white player who could play as a striker as well. And if Brentford get a striker replacement, that's when they will probably let Johan Wissa go. Johan Wissa is also on strike at Brentford. He doesn't want to train. He wants to go to Newcastle. So Newcastle could, in theory, sign Nicholas Jackson and Johan Wissa, which could be, of course, change the whole complexion of Newcastle's transfer window. Ben Jacobs has said that Newcastle's failure to sign Benjamin Šeško does not affect the Alexander Isak situation, because Newcastle have other attackers in mind. As I said, Nicholas Jackson, Johan Wissa, and even Oli Watkins have been mentioned. Newcastle feeling remains that Isak must be sold in this transfer window or extend his contract. There is no middle ground. So Newcastle won't keep Isak without extending his contract. They will sell him, and Isak absolutely 100% doesn't want to extend his contract at Newcastle. He wants out, because Ben Jacobs said Isak so far has shown absolutely no willingness to even talk about a contract extension at Newcastle. So Liverpool are ready to bid again if the encouragement will be given from Newcastle. So now it's a waiting game for Liverpool. As soon as Newcastle sign a striker replacement for Alexander Isak, that's when the ball will still really start rolling, because Liverpool are ready. And also Liverpool want to sign a striker after selling Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. Liverpool definitely want to sign an attacker. And Ben Jacobs also reported that Benjamin Šeško will formalize his Man United move today. The fee is a crazy 76.5 million euros plus 8.5 million fee, and around 5 million euros of those add-ons are easily attainable. And Man United are now looking to sell Rasmus Højlund for 40 million, because if Man United signed Mbeumo, Cunha, and now Benjamin Šeško for a combined like 170 million pounds or something, 180 million pounds. So absolutely, Man United need to sell Højlund, they need to sell Garnacho, they need to sell Anthony, they need to sell Sancho, just to break even somewhat in this transfer window. And Paul Joyce has confirmed that now that Darwin Núñez is going to Al Hilal and Luis Diaz is already at Bayern, Liverpool absolutely 100% plan to sign a new forward. And Alexander Isak remains Liverpool's top priority. So that's why I'm saying that Alexander Isak will become a Liverpool player as soon as Newcastle finally can get some strikers in the door. Newcastle's reluctance to sell and their recruitment struggles, of course, pose big obstacles in any potential deal. But thankfully, the transfer window is still open for another 3 weeks. So Newcastle have 3 more weeks to get a couple of strikers in. And after that, Liverpool will move for Alexander Isak. And of course, Arne Slot was asked about Alexander Isak and the striker department at Liverpool. And Arne Slot was very respectful. He said, "For me, I think every manager is like this. You never talk about players that are not yours. I can talk about Hugo Ekitike, who we signed recently, and he has done really well until now. We are happy with the squad we have. We have every person to be happy because we won the league last season. We have every reason to be happy, Okay, yes, some players left, but we have brought some players in and the youngsters are doing well. Rio and Gumoa showed in the last few games that he can have an impact at this level, at the senior level. We think we have a lot of attacking power in our team. When I think about Gakpo, Chiesa, Ekitike, Salah, Jeremy Frimpong, who can even play as a right winger, Florian Wirtz, who can play as a left winger. So already I have a lot of attacking options in my current squad, but as always, as a club, we are looking at chances in the market, and that could also be in midfield and in defense. And I think Liverpool definitely want to sign a centre-back and a striker. And I think if we sign Isak and an experienced centre-back like Mark Guehi, the Liverpool squad will be pretty much complete. And Arne Slot confirmed that at this moment Darwin might leave, but things are not signed yet. So we need to wait a few days until that's completely done. There is indeed a chance that he's going to leave. And Vatorendo, Andy Robertson and Ryan Gravenberch can definitely play at centre-back, but Liverpool don't have a lot of cover at that in that department, so Arne Slot was asked about that. But you forgot to mention Joe Gomez. Unfortunately, he has a small injury at the moment, but he will be back with the team very soon after the Community Shield game. We have numerous options who can play there, but as always, it's the same boring answer. As players we may bring in or not, I'm really happy with the players we are having. We have numerous players who can play in that position. And yes, the Liverpool fans are worried that Liverpool won't address their centre-back position, but I think Liverpool definitely will sign a centre-back. My only worry is if we sign a very young, inexperienced centre-back, like the 18-year-old Parma kid, forgot his name, off the top of my head. Is that enough cover for Konate and Van Dijk? What if either of them suffers a long injury? Yes, Joe Gomez is a great option, but will he stay fit for that whole period? I don't want to see Endo, Gravenberch or Robertson play at centre-back as starting centre-back in Premier League games. That's my biggest fear. I don't really want that to happen. Craig Hope confirmed that even though Alexander Isak is back in training, he's training separate from the main group, and while the manager Eddie Howe and the Newcastle United as a football club decide their next move. So basically Alexander Isak is separated from the rest of the players at Newcastle. And that rarely ends with the player and staying at Newcastle. I think Alexander Isak is trying everything to get out of Newcastle, and Eddie Howe and the Newcastle hierarchy pretty much accepted that the best course of action right now is to sell Alexander Isak to Liverpool and to bring in 3 or 4 really quality players who actually want to play for Newcastle, who want to push the club forward. And according to Craig Hope, Alexander Isak won't be joining Liverpool until Newcastle have signed the strikers to replace Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson. So Newcastle need 2 strikers in, and that could be Nicholas Jackson and Johan Wissa. The problem is that there are other clubs sniffing around Nicholas Jackson as well. I expect the transfer fee to be around 135 to 140 million for Alexander Isak. And even though Newcastle are posturing right now, Alexander Isak's behavior is crystal clear. Craig Hope wrote, Alexander Isak would not want to play, even if he was invited to play for Newcastle, you suspect. So that subtle line says a lot. That basically Alexander Isak already considers his career over at Newcastle. And Craig Hope said there is acceptance among some people inside Newcastle United that selling Alexander Isak, this is the best way forward for the club. And I think it is, because if they can get 135, 140 million for Alexander Isak, for a player who doesn't want to play at Newcastle, I think that's a great deal. And it's a great deal for Liverpool because Alexander Isak is absolutely world class. Fabrizio Mann also confirmed that Nicholas Jackson will leave Chelsea this summer. The story is over because both Nicolas Jackson and Chelsea decided that he will leave. And also Nicolas Jackson has made it clear to his agent he wants to join Newcastle United, and he is eager to take the iconic number 9 shirt and make history for the club. And also Nicolas Jackson is not as bad as people make him out to be. He's actually a really good striker. He just misses a lot of chances and he's a little bit hot-headed. Does that remind you of anyone? He's similar to Darwin Núñez, but I think Newcastle could do a lot worse than getting Jackson. And also, Bayern Munich have made inquiries about Nicolas Jackson in the past few hours. According to Florian Prettenberg, Bayern Munich have gathered information on his current status, the price and the conditions. I don't think Bayern would pay the 60 million pound asking fee for Nicolas Jackson. By the way, it's crazy. Ekitike cost 70 million. Nicolas Jackson is 60 million. That's the Premier League tax for you. And he's 24 years old. He's a pretty good striker with still a lot of potential. But Max Eberl said and rubbished these rumors that Bayern Munich are definitely not interested in Nicolas Jackson. And they have Harry Kane. Maybe they want to replace Mathys Tel, who joined Tottenham on a permanent basis. But yeah, I think Nicolas Jackson wants to go to wants to go to Newcastle, and hopefully that frees up Alexander Isak to go to Liverpool. Liverpool are also looking for defensive reinforcements, and Giovanni Leoni is the centre back, which I didn't remember his name earlier, from Parma. He's an 18-year-old. He had like half a season of experience in the Serie A, so it would be pretty unlike Liverpool to sign him right now. But he was managed by Christian Kivu last season, and Kivu moved to Inter to become their manager since then. So Inter Milan are also looking at him. And what is a fact is that Inter can offer a lot more playing time to Leoni than Liverpool. So I don't think Liverpool would sign an 18-year-old centre-back to be back up to Konate or Van Dijk. I think we need more experience. Mark Guéhi is available, but Crystal Palace want 40-45 million for him, and Liverpool the maximum is 35 million. So 35 million that Liverpool would pay for Mark Guéhi. So hopefully Crystal Palace will lower their asking price. The danger is, if Liverpool wait too long, Chelsea are also sniffing around Mark Guéhi. Chelsea, it looks like they want to sign absolutely every player under the sun. It's a really weird transfer strategy by Chelsea. And also, there have been four Liverpool players nominated for the Ballon d'Or: Mo Salah, Alexis McAllister, Virgil van Dijk and Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, of course, wasn't a Liverpool player last season, but Salah, I think, should win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. He had the best season. Lamine Yamal and Rafinha could be second or third, but we know that because Mo Salah is African and it doesn't have the same PR as somebody like Lamine Yamal or Rafinha, it doesn't look like Mo Salah will win the Ballon d'Or. Ousmane Dembele also is in with a shout. I think Salah was the best player last season in the whole world. I mean, look at his numbers and compare those numbers to Rafinha's numbers or Yamal's numbers, and also Salah achieved that in the Premier League, which is the most competitive league in the world. So yeah, let me know what do you think about that. Arne Slot also was asked about what happens when Mo Salah goes to the Africa Cup of Nations, and he said, "We definitely thought about AFCON. It's partly why we brought in Frimpong, because he can play as a right winger. A maximum of 6 games in the Premier League without Mo Salah, that's a lot. And Jeremy Frimpong can play there, but he isn't the only option. Chiesa can play there, even Bendo can play there, but Bendo probably is getting sold because Leeds United, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace are all interested in him." And Arne Slot said that Liverpool have a good squad, but we are still looking at reinforcements in the transfer market, so that makes me very optimistic that Liverpool are not done in the transfer market. And Arne Slot said also about Alexis McAllister's fitness, that he will be in the squad. He was out for 2 months or longer. He trained with us, he played 30-45 minutes. Starting is possible, but probably not for 90 minutes. I think Alexis McAllister will be on the bench and play another another half or 30 minutes. And Arne Slot said about Rio and Ngumoa and Trainioni They have an incredible chance to be part of the first team, to work alongside Van Dijk and Mo Salah every day. We try to develop them the best way we can, and we need to take care of them. New players coming in have already experienced that the intensity levels are quite high, but it's been a promising start for Rio and Gomo and Trainioni. And I think Trainioni could be our next Ryan Gravenberch. And who knows, one day he could become an absolute elite player, hopefully. But I'm really optimistic about Liverpool's season. On Sunday, Liverpool start the competitive games against Crystal Palace, and I'm really looking forward to it. The first cup final, it's always great to start the season off with a trophy, hopefully at Wembley. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know all your thoughts about the transfer stories today in the comments, and see you later, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.